All right, and now we get to the co-main event of the evening in the UFC's lightweight division between the former interim lightweight champion and the number 3 ranked Justin the Highlight Gaethje, coming into this fight with a record of 24 victories and 4 defeats, going up against a man who is 6-1 in his UFC career in the number 6 ranked former striking coach at Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, one of the best strikers in the UFC, in Rafael Fiziev, or Fiziev, however you want to say his last name, coming into the fight with a record of 12 victories with 1 defeat. This is going to be a firefight. Like, this is probably your fight of the night. This is going to be action from bell to bell. The question is, does the fight go the distance, or does somebody get put to sleep? Because looking at a guy in Justin Gaethje, who is going to come forward, who's going to throw heavy leg kicks, one of the best leg kickers in the division, one of the best leg kickers in all of mixed martial arts, who's going to come forward with heavy power shots, big bombs, and just look to lay you out for the entirety of the 15-minute bout. Going up against a guy in Rafael Fiziev who is slick, quick, and technical on the feet. Good counter pullback technique, good upper trunk movement with slips, pulls, counters. He's very good at getting off on the angle, stepping off, boom, landing switch kicks to the body. Really good counter kick game from the lead leg. And normally his counter kicks come from his lead leg, which is the left leg. I mean, we saw him butcher Mark Diakiese with kicks to the body and high kicks and pull away from the kicks of Mark Diakiese, who's not slow at all, with Matrix-like head movement. I mean, the guy is probably the most technical striker in MMA. You know, Fiziev's coming off that 5th round TKO over Rafael dos Anjos, where he was able to stop the takedowns and the wrestling, but wasn't really able to get much of anything going on the feet. Like, there wasn't a lot of striking. It was a lot of clinch games, takedown attempts, pushing up against the cage from Rafael dos Anjos. And there's really nobody in this division that's going to be able to hang with Fiziev from a technical aspect. I thought Brad Riddell was going to be able to do that. I thought he was going to be able to win that fight, but not only was he losing the rounds, he had some good counters at certain points against Fiziev, but even when he tried to rush in and counter and crash the pocket, Fiziev's good with short counters too. Like, I know he's good from range, and people think like if you pressure Fiziev, you can beat him, and it's possible, but he's good with counters as well from inside close range, in clinch range, just outside of clinch range, with short hooks. Very good left hook, right hook, left hook, right uppercut, left hook, straight right, left hook, straight left, right hook. He's very good at with over the top, overhands inside close range, uppercuts, and hooks. I would say Gaethje's the better uppercutter. He probably has better uppercuts. He's good at slipping the jab, coming up the middle with the 6, slip the jab, boom, up the middle with the 6 or the rear uppercut. Saw him use that a lot against Michael Chandler. He hurt Tony Ferguson with some uppercuts. He was able to hurt Donald Cerrone in the clinch with the overhands and the uppercuts up the middle and eventually drop him. This is a tough fight because it's going to be the more technical striker, the more technical, the faster, the cleaner. It's Fiziev, and it's not even close. But Gaethje can win this fight. He has the ability to shut Fiziev's lights out. I would say that Gaethje hits harder, but with the technique and speed that Fiziev has, his punches are going to have a bigger effect on Gaethje than Gaethje's will on Fiziev. The cleaner technique with the speed, with the power that he already has, he's going to be able to catch Gaethje inside those wild exchanges. And Gaethje's a wild man. He loves wild exchanges. He loves, getting in your face, making it a dirty fight, trying to break you. Gaethje's objective from start to finish is to break the opponent, break his mental will, break his physical body, and break his spirit from the start to the finish. Can he do that against a guy who's as clean and technical as a Fiziev on the feet, who, like I said, is one of the most technical strikers in the UFC? I beg to differ. I don't necessarily think he can, but there are avenues for him to win. I've seen Fiziev get hit with some left hooks in his career. Like, I feel like the left hand or the lead left hook is something that will catch him over and over again. And Gaethje's got one of the best left hooks in the game. He's got a good jab. He pairs it with the left hook. He's got a good uppercut. He always follows the uppercut with the left hook unless he's able to slip and catch you with that uppercut. But even if he catches you like Chandler and he drops you, he's going to follow up with the uppercut, the 6 to the 3, the 63. Route 63, I like to call it. The uppercut up the middle from the rear hand and the left hook on the exit. He threw it against Chandler, but Chandler fell down before it could land. But if that would have landed after that uppercut, he would have knocked Chandler out cold. And, Gaethje's had chin issues. He got knocked out or dropped by Charles Oliveira after dropping him twice. He got caught in like a square stance, measured off the lead side, boom, countered with the right hand. That's something that Fiziev is going to be able to do. The one thing I like is the the rear side angle counters from Fiziev, and I'll explain what I mean. I've talked about the rear side angle before, and it's going to be very, very, I'm not going to say very, very, but it's going to be imperative for Fiziev to use these counters against Gaethje, and if he does, and especially if he goes to the body, he's going to butcher Justin Gaethje. So the rear side angle, right? So when you're standing in orthodox, we'll use orthodox for an example, right? So your lead foot is left foot, your back foot is your right foot, right? So the lead side angle would be to angle shift, step off to the lead side, and pivot off. You step off to the lead side, your left foot, and you angle off, a little 45-degree angle. That is your lead side angle. Now, your rear side angle is where you're going to step. You're going to step to the backside foot. You're going to angle off that way. That is going to allow you to get over the jab of the orthodox opponent that you're fighting, which we saw Charles Oliveira do. Charles Oliveira's success in the striking realm of that fight, even after he got knocked down, was using the rear side angle to set up the targets for his shots. He would back up, he would angle off to his rear side, come over the top of the jab of Justin Gaethje with an overhand right or a straight right hand. When he caught Gaethje with the right hand, he briefly angled off. Gaethje was in a square stance where he wasn't in one particular stance where the right or the left hand was the power hand, but he was able to angle off and then bang, come over the top with the right hand. Gaethje was square, which means yes, equal power, but a open target right in front of Oliveira. Bang, caught him on the chin, dropped him, basically knocked him out with that punch. Gaethje was out of it after that, and then he got submitted. But even the rear side angle to the overhand right over the jab, the rear side angle to the right hand, to the left hook, to the body, to the left hook up top for Fiziev is going to be a big weapon. Because when Gaethje throws that left hook, it is clean, it is crisp. He has one of the best left hooks in the game, showcased in the fight against Chandler, showcased in the fight against Tony Ferguson, where he became the interim champion. However, when he throws with so much power, so much windup. It's a clean shot technically, but he throws power into everything that he throws. And on one hand, that could catch Fiziev and that could knock him out. If Fiziev gets caught on the chin by Gaethje, we've seen him get knocked out earlier in his career by Magomed Mustafayev with a spinning back kick right to the face. I mean, I know that the kick is harder than a punch, but if Gaethje starts landing big bombs on the face of Fiziev, or if he counters Fiziev stepping in, he can knock out Gaethje, or he can knock out Fiziev. If Fiziev lands on the chin of Gaethje, he can land and knock him out as well. Either person can knock out the other in this fight. It's a firefight. It's kill or be killed. But that rear side angle will go back to what we were discussing. That is going to open up the lead switch kick to the body as Gaethje throws that left hook. So if Gaethje goes 1-2, bang, throws that left hook, Fiziev's going to step off to the rear side, which means the left hook is going to go past his face, which means that if Gaethje throws it, which is with as much power as he normally does, he's going up against one of the best counter strikers, but not only that, one of the best counter kickers in MMA. And the best kick from Fiziev is the right low kick and the lead left switch kick to the body. His switch kick is fast, it's clean, it's crisp, it's technical. When Gaethje throws that left hook, bang! If he steps off on that rear side angle and lands that switch kick to the body, when Gaethje's going to be off to the side at a parallel angle to Fiziev's stance, that left body kick is going to smack the body of Gaethje. And I know what you're going to say. Well, we've never seen Gaethje have weakness there. Yes, we have. Go back and watch the Eddie Alvarez fight. The only reason Eddie Alvarez was able to win that fight after his legs were destroyed was because he was able to touch, and rip to the body. The only reason Poirier had success, yes, it was with the boxing, but it was with his ability to change levels with multi-level boxing combinations. And it started all with the body. The hooks, the uppercuts, the kicks to the bodies, the knees as Gaethje tries to close the distance. Again, go back to the Oliveira fight. When he was getting to that rear side angle, the right hand, but the rear side angle with the tie clinch, where you're going to frame off with one hand, and then you're going to go over the top with the other hand, and then you can get off to the side stance and land a rear knee to the body or a rear knee to the thigh or a lead switch knee to the body. those are going to be big weapons against a guy who is a master of those techniques. The switch kick to the body, the knees to the body, the rear kick to the body. But the switch kick to the body is going to be the bread and butter for Fiziev from the lead side. His lead left hook as well, the left hook to the body with the right hand to the left hook off the break like he landed against Renato Moicano. Justin Gaethje is very good with lowering his level like a wrestler, but stepping off to the linear movement, left or right, and rolling underneath. A lot of the success from Gaethje comes off not just the slips, but his ability to roll underneath and go under the shots of his opponent and come back on counters. He'll roll underneath, boom, come up the middle with the uppercut, like if you throw the jab, slip off, boom, right uppercut up the middle. Roll underneath the jab, right hook, straight left down the middle. Gaethje is good at using those angles and the lateral movement and the head movement to step off on the lateral movement, the lateral angles, and use that to set up the angle to the outside foot of Fiziev, which would be the left foot if they're both orthodox, the left foot for both guys, but rolling underneath and using that momentum to switch to southpaw, which would give Gaethje the outside foot on the lead foot of Fiziev and landing the right hook to the left hook in the southpaw stance. The stance switch, straight right hand underneath and the left hook off the roll, switching to southpaw, getting the outside foot on Ferguson, was one of the reasons he was able to butcher Tony Ferguson in that fight. And even in that fight, he got caught with uppercuts himself against Tony Ferguson. That's what he dropped him with. But I think for Gaethje, he's going to have to feint the wrestling, come up the middle with the uppercuts, feint the wrestling, roll underneath to counter Fiziev, right hook, left over the top, the left overhand, the left hook from the southpaw stance. Those are going to be the weapons. The stance switch combinations and the right low kicks to the lead left leg of Fiziev are going to be the best weapons for Gaethje paired with the left hook. For Fiziev, it's going to be countering Gaethje stepping in, getting into close range, right outside of clinch range in that boxing range, and landing short counters, or as Gaethje throws a left hook, stepping to the rear side angle to set up the angle to land the lead switch kick to the body, which can set up the right hand and the left hook behind it. That's the main breakdown on this fight. If Gaethje can use his low calf kicks, the right low kicks early and often, he's going to tear up the leg of Fiziev. But if Fiziev can catch Gaethje throwing that low kick with a right straight, a left hook, a right uppercut, a left hook, a jab, left hook, right body kick, angle off, have him miss the low kick, he'll spin through because he throws so much power. That's going to put him at the same parallel angle that missing the left hook would if Fiziev steps to that rear side angle, which is going to set up an angle for the left hook, which is going to set up an angle for a potential left overhand. But what is most importantly going to set up an angle for either a left switch head kick or a left kick to the body. Going off the fight, I don't even need to break down stats because I feel like what I just broke down is the most important aspects of this fight because it's going to be mainly fought in the striking distance, whether it's at kickboxing range or boxing range. But breaking it down and making a prediction, I'm going to go with Rafael Fiziev. I think he's way more technical than Gaethje. I think even if he misses shots, he doesn't throw himself off balance as much as Gaethje does. And we've seen that in the past from Gaethje, where he'll throw himself off balance. And that is also what set up the rear side angle counters and punches and knees from Oliveira, which led to a first round finish. I think the switch kick to the body is big for Fiziev. I think Fiziev will get hit. And if Gaethje lands that big left hook, if he lands that big overhand, if he counters Fiziev, he can knock him out. So this is a fight where either person can win, but I expect the technical and stylistic advantages paired with the better defensive responsibility and ability to angle off and set up the counters with the upper trunk movement of Fiziev to be able to lead him to a finish here over Justin Gaethje. I think he's going to get that rear side angle, butcher the body. I think he's going to hurt him with a left kick to the body, barrage him, and I think he's actually going to catch him with a head kick and knock him out. So my pick is going to be the number 6, Rafael Fiziev, to defeat the number 3 ranked Justin the Highlight Gaethje via a second round head kick knockout. He's going to work the body, hurt him to the body, which we've already seen from Gaethje before, and then he's going to come up top to the head and knock out Gaethje with a head kick. From a betting perspective, I think the best bet on the fight is fight doesn't go to decision, but I'm sure it'll be juiced to the gills. I like Fiziev inside the distance. I like fight doesn't go to decision, like I said. So fight doesn't go to decision. Rafael Fiziev on the money line, I don't love it. Like minus 230, unless you're going to parlay it. If you're going to parlay it, go ahead. But with Gaethje's finishing ability and the power that he has, I think it's almost better to stay away from this fight from a betting perspective at all. If you're on the Gaethje side, I would take money line at plus 195 or a finish for Gaethje. But again, I thought that there was no chance that Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje were going to go to decision, and they did, and they beat the absolute crap out of each other. So maybe it's better 100% to stay away from this fight from a betting perspective on either side, whether you're on Gaethje or Fiziev. Even if its fight doesn't go the distance, even if it's under overs on rounds, I think it's better to stay away. My pick would be Fiziev on the money line or Rafael Fiziev inside the distance via KO, TKO, or DQ, which will probably be like a minus 110, maybe minus 120. So you're probably not even going to get plus money on it. So I think if I'm being in particular and breaking it down, like honestly, I think you just sit back with your popcorn and watch the fight and enjoy the violence that's about to ensue. But in the co-main event, I'm picking the number 6 ranked Rafael Fiziev to defeat the number 3 ranked Justin Gaethje via second round head kick knockout.